Welcome back to Midlife Crisisses. I'm Tyson, one of the hosts. Thank you so much for liking, subscribing, commenting, sharing. All of that stuff helps us continue to do this podcast, and we would appreciate if you would continue to do that each and every episode. We love you guys so much. We want to keep doing this, and that is one of the ways to guarantee. Nothing in life is guaranteed.
Guarantee it. Yeah,
okay, that we will keep doing this. So smash that subscribe button, that like button, that follow button, whatever buttons are there, smash them all.
And we really want to hear from you guys too. We want to hear about your midlife crises. We want to know what kind of stuff you are going through so that we can talk about it and share our insights about trying to survive this bull as well. So
let's get into it. As you've aged, what are things that your body just stopped doing, or like what things are you now knowing that you're going to live with for the rest of your life?
I feel like we're kind of like cars in that you could either have the wipers, the headlights, or the radio, not all three. You had to pick two.
A lot of things that I thought I was going to have forever have went away like in more of the long term.
I was a little worried, like, am I going to be the guy that like blows his ACL getting double bounced on a trampoline? Yeah. Hey everybody, welcome to Midlife Crisisses. I'm Bradley Hasemeyer, one of the hosts. We're so glad you guys are here. Each week we're putting out fresh content with a question that one of us brings to the table, dealing with our crises. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you share the show. That helps us. And hopefully it helps you too, because sometimes you'll forget and you're like, oh, there's a new episode, because bloop, it pops up on your notifications and you're like, sweet, I've got a 45-minute ride in the car. Let me go listen to this podcast and enjoy learning that I'm not alone in my crises. And our crises vary. And it's not just about me and my crises, which is why there's two other guys here. One of them, of course, being William, the man, Drumm. He's just went through a crisis yesterday, which is why we had to push today's shoot. So, William, take it away.
What's up, everybody? Yes, I went through a big crisis yesterday, and it got worse after I talked to you guys.
Oh, what?
No. So yesterday,
walk us through it.
Well, all right. So yesterday, I was scrambling to get ready for taking my daughter to school. We jump in the truck to head over there. I got a new truck a couple months ago, and I put my dog in. Run inside for a sec, come back out, and the entire back seat is just deep in dog vomit. Oh. She puked so much in the back of my truck. It was unbelievable. More than I've ever seen, to the point where like I opened the door and it just leaked out and just like started pouring out of the truck, like an insane amount.
Oh,
anyway,
my gosh.
Cleaned it up, took her to work, or took her to school. I missed our podcast because of it. Came back, came into the office, and came out again, and she puked all over the living room, like 3 or 4 different giant spots on the carpet. So I was like, all right, man, clean this up. You know, I thought she just ate something bad. Later that day, she drinks a bunch of water and then just pukes water, like a huge amount of water everywhere.
Oh my gosh.
So poor little baby. I took her to the vet, was at the vet until like 8 p.m. last night. And she's fine. They like gave her some subcutaneous liquid under her skin and some anti-vomiting stuff, and she's okay. But man, it's crazy how things like that can just throw your whole day into like a total tailspin.
Being a dad, running a business, and also, you know, the podcast, which is a secondary business, of course, and then the dog life just like throws the whole thing. This is what we're dealing with at this point in our lives, guys.
Any one thing, it's like, that's why building stuff like that into your calendar however you can, because there's always going to be something that comes up, whether it's like through personal development, you're always doing good, you're on track, and then something in your life happens, you get sick, something happens with your kids, they get sick, your dog, and then it's like, whoa. So I think building in that redundancy is so important and not easy to do, but man, you really got to do it.
Yeah. I feel so bad for you. Like, did you go and take your truck to get detailed too, on top of you cleaning it out, or you feel confident enough with your clean job?
Not yet. And the carpets are still not in great shape either.
You got to go. That stuff just stays forever. You got to go get that done after this podcast. That is the first stop.
Might just get. It's not like it's a living room rug, not a carpet. So it might be heading to the dumpster. We'll see.
Man, that really sucks. That like, and they no inclination of what happened to Shiloh, the dog. Just
you said rotisserie chicken.
Yeah,
right?
I gave her some rotisserie chicken, which gave her diarrhea in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I did it before. I don't know. But she just loves it so much.
Yeah, that's hard.
But I don't know. Yeah, they don't know. She doesn't really, she's not the type of dog who gets into the trash or is like food motivated. So.
Did you tell the vet that you gave Shiloh some rotisserie chicken?
Yeah, and they said that might have been it.
Okay. They
no idea what happened. I gave her rotisserie chicken and they said that could have been it. But other than that, no clue why this thing took place.
Are you going to try rotisserie chicken again or never?
I don't think I'll be trying that again.
3 strikes. Okay. Come on.
Me and my daughter love it. Me and my daughter love it, and we want to share it with our whole family, but it's just not.
Not for Shiloh. Well,
yeah, not for Shiloh.
I love lentils. My wife loves lentils. We found out that Marlo, every time she has lentils, she pukes in the night. She's allergic to lentils.
Wow.
So, and it took about 3 strikes before we figured it out. It was just like,
I've never even heard of an allergy to lentils.
Yeah, so. Google it. It's pretty common. The protein strands, whatever in lentils is can be an allergen for people. And she would eat dinner, go to bed totally fine, fall asleep totally fine, be totally okay, wake up crying that her tummy hurts, and then puke everywhere.
Oh.
And and then wake up in the morning totally fine, ready to go to school. And so and it happened like 3 or 4 nights in like a month. And we were like, what is going on? I was like, what have we been feeding her every night? And it was like lentils. So I Googled it. We think that's it. We told her, we broke the news to her, and she said, good, those taste like dog food.
Yeah.
So
I was kind of thinking maybe she's putting it on.
She's pumped.
You know what, Dad? I'm actually allergic to lentils.
Yeah.
And so
she's pumped, but she did not like throwing up. So, so we've been through that too. But the subject matter today that I have,
bring the question, baby. Let's hear it.
Is not that. I want to talk about scar tissue.
Ooh.
But like as we get older, our bodies, these human telestial vessels, start deteriorating, falling apart, all of that stuff. As you've aged, what are things that your body has like just stopped doing, or like what things are you now knowing that you're going to live with for the rest of your life? Like I have a broken toe, has a gigantic hump on it. Shoes are hard to wear. That's just something that like is going to be forever. I have to find shoes that are a little bit giving in that spot there.
Was that from your biker days?
No, I slipped at my apartment complex pool and kicked the wall as I went down in bare feet. Yeah, it was like a wet tile pool deck. Slipped and kicked.
How long ago?
10 years ago.
Wow.
Maybe longer, 15 years ago.
It really is there forever.
Yeah, it's there forever. Shoes can be uncomfortable. It's not super grotesque. Like you guys wouldn't the way I've talked about it now, and the more I talk about it, you guys are probably thinking my feet are so disgusting, and they're not. I mean,
I was already kind of leaning that way.
But I have a thigh, and one of my thighs is numb all the time. And I don't know if it's from a serious bike accident I had or severe sciatica that I had a handful of years ago. And I'm like, as we age, like we're not getting that stuff back.
Yeah.
And how do we deal with it? Do we deal with it? Do we try to remedy it? Like all of that stuff is like root canals. I got root canals now. I'm not getting new teeth back. Like that's goodbye. Sorry. Bye, tooth. I wish I would have taken care of you better.
I did hear that they were doing tests on a new drug that can regrow human teeth.
Where does it grow them though? Because if it doesn't grow them in your mouth, I don't want that.
I think it's in the mouth.
Okay.
What's that bump on your toes? Scar tissue? No, that's a molar.
It's a tooth. Yeah. So
that's hilarious.
Yeah. So my thigh bugs me a little bit because I have like, you can pinch it. It feels like knee skin or elbow skin where you're like, something's there, but, and it's just going to get worse.
Yeah.
Like it's not going to, like not that particularly, but in general, the full gamut, as we're marching towards death, everything is going to get worse and worse and worse until that point.
The march toward death. I think you've used that expression before, and I think it's such a vivid. I want ChatGPT AI. William, will you get ask AI what it looks like for 3 dudes to march toward death? I just want to see what that's going to be. That's hilarious. I feel like we're kind of like cars in that. I had a crappy car in LA. It was this like 2000 Ford Focus. The second gear would grind because the synchro was out. The electrics were off. You could either have the wipers, the headlights, or the radio, not all 3. You had to pick 2. And so if it was like raining in LA at night, it was silent in my car. But during the day, it was okay. It hit a bump, and all of a sudden the electrics would just be like out and then back in. And at some point, I was just like, I'm not going to fix it. You know, like you just say, oh yeah, I'm just going to live with it's going to grind every time I go in second. Maybe I'll go from first to third and just skip the second, because it becomes expensive. It becomes annoying. So I hear you on that. You got to find like, where's that line of, well, I still have 45, hopefully 55 years left of my life. And so I don't want to just like kind of like suffer through it. But at the same time, like what's worth
for the next 55 years? Let's just suffer through it.
Yeah. We're marching toward death.
Yes,
so
correct.
Yeah. So I hear you on that. I don't know. I think it's got to be kind of a personal thing, because I think, okay, so if I were you, right? Let's say, William, I want to hear your response of this too. If you were Tyson, what would you do?
How? With what?
Like if you had if you had the thing over your toe, would you get surgery? If you had, the leg thing, would you go to a specialist, or, it would just be, it is what it is?
If I was Tyson, I would definitely get sick custom shoes with either toe cut out or like a nice bubble on there.
Yes.
Something really,
your own line
really
of shoes.
Cool.
Dude,
a lot of
great.
shoes work. A lot of shoes work fine. If there's no give in that particular spot, then they don't work. But as long as it's like, even if it's leather and it will like kind of form a little bit, it's fine. It's when it's like hard plastic shoe or something. That's
does either of those things
inhibit me from doing anything?
Yeah, exactly.
No.
So I think that to me is like maybe a good winnowing fork.
Yeah. The worst thing for my toe was when I hired a private Brazilian jiu-jitsu instructor, and you drag your feet across the mat, on the tops of your feet across the mat all the time. And that was really annoying, because that was the spot that would drag.
Does it bother you every day?
My toe?
Or both of them?
No, neither one of them bothers me every day. I don't even know that I notice the toe break every day, but I do notice the thigh every day. Like I'm sitting here right now pinching my thigh, like still numb, been numb for, I don't know, a few years at least.
What about now? What about now?
Yeah.
What about now?
It feels weird.
Just
maybe
all day.
Oh my God, maybe it's not quite as numb. It's still numb, but maybe is it? But no, I think, no, that's in my head. Yeah. And that's like, so yeah, and it's with everything. Like I sprained my ankle like 4 months ago.
Yeah, we talked about that, right?
Yeah, it's still painful inside a little bit. And I'm like, that's maybe just a discomfort I'm going to have to live with, maybe forever, maybe like, yeah. And my dad, he's like got a shoulder thing that he's just like, I was like, Dad, maybe you should go get that checked out. He's like, I talked to a guy, and he said, if I can still just live with it, then just do that.
Yeah. I think the problem becomes surgery as we get older. The recovery time of that is just so much longer. You hear about like a 20-year-old NFL player, and it's like, their arm was ripped off in a tragic tractor accident, and then like 3 weeks later they're playing again. You're like, with a new arm.
Yes.
And, it's like I can like stub my toe, and it's like 3 weeks later I'm like, maybe I should go to urgent care now because there's still blood under the nail.
Yeah, I need a boot. I need to wear one of those boots.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I do think that some of that stuff you might think, I mean, not you particularly for these injuries, but a lot of things that I thought I was going to have forever have went away like in more of the long term. Like I used to have super bad carpal tunnel in my wrist from working a lot, and I thought it would just be there forever. My ankles too, same thing from running. Like I love running, and at one point I thought, oh, I'm just gonna have pain in my ankle forever from running, but then they went away. And sometimes diet, exercise, some of those kind of things can make a big difference in like chronic injuries, and then also just time. Like, I mean, the toe's been a long time, but maybe
the toe's not going away. I think the bone calcified and left a hump. So I could get it shaved down, but then I heard that's super painful.
Oh, it sounds terrible.
There's also just like praying for medical advances, and because I heard that they've got this new technology for scar tissue. For it to
just be magically fixed.
No. William is a plant from the healthcare industry, and instead of praying for it to be better, pray for doctors to be able to bill the insurance.
They've got some sort of a new thing they're doing for scar tissue that like uses ultrasonic rays or something to gellify it and make it go away. So some of that stuff I think that already has got better and probably will get really a lot better once the AI medical technology comes into effect.
Starts figuring it out for us, connecting all the dots on the entire internet to come up with solutions.
Yep.
I just want us to get to the point of like what Tony Stark had, where he could just like Spider-Man had a huge cut on him and he was just like sprayed him with some kind of foam and it was like whoosh, and healed. Or like in Wakanda.
Was it Interstellar when he goes and lays in that thing and it just like does a full body health scan?
What was that?
Interstellar? Was that Interstellar?
Oh, yeah.
The full body health scan and fixing. And it just took like 30 seconds. It was like, it'll pinpoint every single thing you have wrong and fix it.
Or like in the Alien movie where they have that. And then it does the surgery automatically to like pull the alien out of her.
Yeah. Yeah, we need more of that.
We need more of that. The alien
personal health pods.
The de-alienified tech.
Yeah. I don't care about going to Mars. Build us a little health pod that we can all have at home for just $250,000 a pod and just get rejuvenated each and every day.
I like that personally. I think what sucks getting older is, we've talked a little bit about this, is the how long it takes to heal stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that does prevent me from interacting in ways that I probably, like my son had a birthday last week. We went to a trampoline park. I really debated going out there and bouncing on those trampolines.
You didn't
I was
bounce?
Like, oh, I went there. I did. I went out and did it. But I was a little worried, like, am I going to be the guy that like blows his ACL getting double bounced on a trampoline at my son's? And it's like, I hate that that's part of the conversation in my head. That's the reality of it. So it's not like it's my fault. I'm in fine shape, but it just like sucks that that's something you have to consider. Or like, why is my back sore 3 days after? Oh, because I just like compressed it weirdly
over.
On a trampoline.
Yeah.
The most mundane of toys. It was just like, this is ridiculous. So I don't know. That's just one of those that like, I know everybody deals with to some degree.
Well, what injuries do you guys live with currently that you have just like succumbed to like dealing with forever? Do either of you have those?
See, that's what I mean. A lot of the stuff I thought I'd have forever, I don't.
It's gone.
Like my shoulders were both super screwed up from the time I was
divorced and everything's better.
No.
Remember when you said you were blessed to lose the home or something like that? You're like, one of the greatest things happened to me. Yeah.
Yeah. But seriously, like I used to have heartburn every single day. I thought I was going to have heartburn forever.
Yeah.
That went away. Like I used to have, one shoulder used to have instability and I got surgery on that a while ago and that went away. Yeah. So most of my chronic injuries that I thought I would have forever haven't been forever.
Wow.
So if you're out there with chronic injury, maybe it'll get better.
Maybe it's not chronic. And when those did get better on your process, were you praying for medical advancements or were you praying
for
that you would be healed?
Praying that it would just go away.
Okay.
Because so much of that stuff, I know there's no, the opposite of what I was saying, but like when my ankles were messed up, I went to the doctor a bunch and eventually they're just like, it's probably going to hurt for a while. It might hurt forever.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and that's how my back, when I hurt my back, I had extreme sciatica. I was going to a physical therapist, and he was like, this is something you're going to have to deal with forever now. You're 40, you can deal with it forever, but how you manage it is going to be what dictates your quality of life. My back hasn't hurt for like 4.5 years. Dude, it was just like 6 months of extreme pain with sciatica shooting all the way down into my toes pretty much, which is apparently a very bad sign. And then he's like, you're going to have to do your back exercises every day to even function. I haven't done a back exercise since it started feeling better.
And years. So this is something I was talking to some of my other friends also going through midlife crises the other day about. Yes, I do have friends outside the circle, but not many.
What?
And so I know, sorry. But it was this idea of like mind-body connection, right? And how like a lot of times stress in your life, a lot of times like unconscious things going on in your life can affect your body in a physical way. Just like when I was in acting class, you would use imaginary circumstances and your body would start reacting. You'd get angry, you would cry, but nothing changed. You think in a movie, on the other side of that scene is 60 people, somebody's on their phone, somebody's like filming, and yet someone looks like they're going through an emotional breakdown, you know? Yeah. And it's like, no, it's because your brain is telling your body how to respond. And so we were talking about back pain, lower back pain specifically. I have it on and off, upper shoulder pain. And then another guy has like some chest. Evidently it's not a heart attack kind of thing.
Thank God.
But a lot of times the doctors will be like, well, I mean, we could fuse your discs, but then it's like 50-50 if it gets better. And you're like, what is your job, doctor? Because like it seems like they're not
that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You're not coming back from it.
Is permanent. You will not have the flexibility you had before, and it may not take.
Yeah.
I mean, the fusing will take, but the pain going away may not.
Yeah. And so I think so often we want to heal it so quickly that we just rely on doctors for those things. And doctors are great. I was pre-med for 2 years till I failed organic chemistry. And I think that's a very important thing. But I think a lot of times we don't take into consideration those other variables in our life that are contributing to that. I mean, if you get in a car wreck, that's different. But if it's just like, man, I'm just waking up sore, or like my back just like seized up or tightened up or whatever, I think there's validity. I was reading a book about it called Healing Back Pain by this guy named John Sarno. Healed a bunch of people through basically, have you heard of this, Tyson? You're shaking your head like you have.
We've had this conversation on text messages multiple times.
So
I think I recommended the book to you, and you were like, I have that book. And we were like, who said it first?
Yeah, definitely me.
Someone recommended it to me when my back was hurting. I bought it. I never read it. My back pain went away. So just owning it.
Even the I love it. Even the presence of it.
But he said it had changed his life. He's like, it's all mental. Back pain is more mental and controlling your stress and stuff than it is about the actual pain. And my back, I know that if I am stressed about something for multiple days, it does rear itself physically.
So that's why I'm trying to be more of a DGAF kind of guy. Don't give a fuck. I have to get myself back into that place, because think about like children. Children don't experience that. My kids aren't like, oh, my back is sore.
They also are so
like,
light.
I'm so tense
and fresh.
Yeah, they're so light and fresh and rubbery.
They're little spring chickens. That's true. You see a baby fall down, it's like nothing to them. They're like boing, like pop back up.
It's pretty full cool. Scorpion. Like, can you imagine if I felt like a full scorpion? I'd just be all the way broken in half.
It would be like actually dropping glass on the floor.
Yeah, I'd be like, I don't know what you're supposed to do. If you're supposed to just put me out of my misery now, or...
Hey, Rachel, did Tyson sign any papers about this? Do we know kind of what to do next?
Oh, and then you see a little kid's scorpion and they just like roll over, flop up, and start running again. And you're like, how?
Amazing.
Yeah.
So that's my takeaway is a reminder that life, I think that's what happens in our midlife. We're taking on so many things. It's our own stuff. There's other responsibilities. There's questions, and that can all pile up and get stuck in your head, stuck in your body. So I think there is something to say about that, but I like what you were saying earlier in terms of like, if it doesn't really impact your day to day, it just is what it is, then I think it's hard to make a case for like, let me take 2 months off of work so I can fix this thing that's not really that broken. You know?
Yeah. I mean, some of it is it going to get worse? And if it is, then it's worth addressing before it gets worse. But if it's something that's just stagnant now, yeah, I don't know. My wife keeps being like, you should go really figure out why your thigh has been numb for years and years. And I was like, but they're just going to go and poke it and then be like, huh, it is numb. It could be from things that you said. And I'll be like, yeah, I think we're on the same page.
Or they're like, have you ever ridden a bike?
Yeah. Have you ever have you ever gotten in a bike accident, slammed your thigh into the bumper of a parked car while you were traveling 50 miles an hour?
Damn. Is that what happened?
Yeah. In a pile up in Europe.
Yeah, I think your nerves were just like, we're out of here. They just left. That's why.
Yeah. It was definitely bruised all the way down to the very deep tissue. So that's what that was my initial thought, because that, like, even when it was numb, that was triggering memories of that, but it could have also been sciatica was in that same leg all the way down. So could have done some nerve damage there. But yeah, it doesn't bother me, but I just know that more stuff is to come. Like, how long until my other thighs numb constantly?
Yeah.
How long until my knee just aches? How long until, and am I doing anything not to make it better, but to have the time that I have now with my remaining 9 good toes? Like, am I celebrating my 9 good toes, knowing that
that's
another
a good point,
one,
right?
Am I celebrating the 1 good thigh? That's what I want to talk about. Like, how are we addressing these issues in our, I don't ever feel my other thigh and be like, thank goodness I can feel me pinching my thigh on this side. Like, but should I?
Or are you going to end up like your dad, where it's like, I just have this thing and it just sucks and it is what it is?
Yeah. I can't usually lift my shoulder very high and it sucks, but I've gone so long with it now that the doctor is saying, because you get to a certain age in life where the doctors say, do as much as you want with it, as much as you can, enjoy it. And then once it's gone, we'll address it. We're not doing surgery now. But if he would have had it, fixed up 20 years ago, they would have done the surgery and you'd have a perfect shoulder maybe. So, yeah, I think that's the line, is like.
William, have you ever had an injury that's prevented you from, like, scubaing and working and stuff like that, or not really?
Yeah, I mean, my shoulders used to be so screwed up. I've popped my shoulders out doing every sort of activity, from, like, I used to work in a laboratory. One time my shoulder popped out while I was carrying a petri dish full of cells, full of cancer cells, and I threw it all over the laboratory. Like, Is that
how cancer started?
Yeah, that's how the new worst cancer
COVID?
in the world started.
That's what happened? I thought it was in China.
So
you were just holding like a tray,
like walking across
like
the laboratory, holding basically like a petri dish.
A petri dish.
Well, it's not really. It's a 96 well plate. So it's like, that's what they do nowadays, like 96 different petri dishes.
Okay.
Or 384 different petri dishes in a little experimental tray. And I was carrying it, and it was full of some cancer cells that we recently grew in the lab. And my shoulder popped out, and I just literally threw it all over the entire laboratory. But it happened doing everything, like waving, I would pop it out, like eating, I would pop it out.
Was it getting worse and worse?
Yeah, it was getting worse. I got surgery on that one, but it was getting worse and worse.
Did your other one was having the issue too? You said your shoulders.
Yeah, so the other one, I was riding my bike it was the summer between high school and college, and I used to be a busboy. And we worked the night before, stayed up late, made some money, went home, and then Sunday morning we're riding to work again, or I'm riding to work on my bicycle again. And my friend, the other busboy, is walking on the sidewalk, and I like ride past them all fast, and I'm like, how's the walk, sucker? Like, trying to be cool. And then I go in front of him and pull up my bike like off the curb, and my bike tire just falls out of my frame, and I just come down on the fork of the bike like that, and boom, into the concrete. Ripped a huge hole in my ear, ripped like a bunch of road rash, and got a 4th degree separation on my shoulder. And then I walked into the bar where I was working, and my shirt was ripped. I was completely bloody. Actually, I think I lost my shirt. I think I took it off after it happened. And I was just covered in blood. And I just went and I sat at the bar, and I was just like, ugh, can I get a coffee or something? And they're like, do you need an ambulance? I'm like,
can we call you that?
I don't know. Do I?
You didn't have a helmet on?
I had a helmet on.
Okay.
So,
for all the kids listening, he was wearing a helmet.
Good.
Yeah. And then that was messed up for years and years and years. Chronic pain would prevent me from doing stuff. My other shoulder that you were talking about, scuba diving, like I've popped it out where I was putting on my wetsuit. So like a tight wetsuit. And then it pops out, and then I'm just like completely like locked in place inside of the wetsuit with it popped out. I've got a lot of stories about this. One time I was tubing down the Boulder Creek here in Colorado, and I fell out of my raft and started to swim to the side, and I grabbed a branch, and my shoulder popped out. So I was just hanging from this branch in like strong current with my one shoulder popped out and my other one there. I'm like, oh my God, what do I even do? Like, am I going to drown?
Because you can't swim at that point. You would just have
like
one
I'm
arm.
Frozen. Yeah. Luckily, it slid right back into place, and it just hurt for a long time.
And after it pops in and out, it pops in and out more often, right? Like that's the thing.
Ligaments get stretched,
get fixed.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
And the surgery, I was so thankful I got it. But it's crazy because after the surgery, they give you a video of the surgery from like inside. And like it's all torn ligaments. So they go in and they, shave them off, just tighten them or whatever they got to do. But the video just looks like a bunch of pieces of string cheese in like a current. And there's like blah, 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 blah.
Wow.
Because they're all so frayed and ripped up, all the ligaments were.
Dang.
Yeah. And then the other one, I was just positive that would hurt me forever. And, sometimes if I work out a ton, it'll get like a little sore, like it's not as strong as the other one.
Yeah.
But all the stuff that I thought I would have forever so far has went away. So I think that a takeaway from this stuff is A, the less you focus on it, the less it'll hurt, basically.
Interesting.
And B, just don't assume it's going to hurt always, because that just makes you focus on it more. And who knows, maybe it'll get better. Maybe they'll develop a personal pod that you can jump into and fix up your whole body soon here.
Let's pray for that.
Let's pray for that. Let's pray for that.
Pray for medicine.
And also the lifestyle stuff. I thought I would have heartburn forever. I used to have such bad heartburn. I was taking like the Prilosec every day, double doses of it all the time. And really it was just because I was a little bit overweight and ate like shit and drank too much. And after the divorce and starting to get healthier and lost some weight, and the heartburn just kind of like went away at the same time as all the other stuff.
Wow.
So
you've lived quite a life, William, for not even 40.
Year. Yeah, in the last year or two.
Yeah,
that's true.
I've lived 40 years in the last year now, for sure.
Yeah. My takeaway is, I think just like enjoying the time and also adjusting to what your capabilities are, like still go jump on the trampoline, but maybe don't try the double front flip.
And that's right. And I didn't. Yeah, I thought, okay, I'm going to just pull it back a little.
Yeah, my kids are like, can you do a flip on a trampoline? I was like, I could. Let it be known I could, but I would probably over-rotate and slam my head on the mat, and then we're done.
Yeah, we're leaving.
Yeah. So
sorry.
So I was like,
that's good.
I'm not doing that.
My takeaway is something you mentioned, Tyson, was just basically like being smart about thinking forward, thinking ahead. Like building muscle gets harder as you get older. So, try to, front load that. Osteoporosis, those types of things. Like be smart about what you're doing. Maybe some more functional movements and workouts and things as you see like getting older, and trying to, basically put savings in the bank for later. I like that. That's good.
Did I say that?
Yeah, you were talking about like what if your dad had fixed it earlier?
Yeah.
Thinking down, what can you be doing now to basically circumvent or make that easier, because it's an inevitability. So, how can we plan now?
I am a firm
stretching
believer.
is so much more important now.
That's a great point. I really should get higher on my yoga situation.
But I also think if you need surgery and they tell you need surgery, they said, oh, you can live with it, it's going to be painful. Don't do that. Get the surgery.
Yeah.
If they're like that shoulder is going to require surgery at some point, may as well get it while the younger you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll be quicker to heal, right?
Yes.
That's a good point.
Yes. So, that was fun. I'm glad. I mean, I know a lot about William. I don't know that Bradley is injured at all. And you have no things that you're like, I'm taking this with me to the grave, this hump on my toe, this thigh without feeling, this stretched out shoulder that got fixed? You don't have anything like that yet?
Not yet. I've had some injuries, but they were, stitches as a kid. Busted. Oh, here's the thing. I was skiing when I was I must have been like 19 or 20. Fell down, probably popped my shoulder out of place, but I did like it maybe bounced back in. That was fine. It was just sore for like a month. I would be in hospital 100% if that same fall happened now, even though I'm physically stronger than I was then, just the rebound of that. So I thought that was like, I guess my shoulder could be hurting for a long time, but I'm also, and I think we're all at this age where like, I'll just wake up randomly and be like, why is my neck sore? Like my back's a little sore, or my
we know why, because we're like over 40 years old.
Exactly, that's what I mean.
Marching toward death.
Marching toward death.
Yeah. I'm like,
that's the new name for our podcast. Welcome to Midlife Crisisses. Marching to death.
I've got like 75 days until I turn 40.
Oh my gosh, what are we going to do?
Countdown is on. We're going to have an epic podcast.
Podcast day
for your birthday.
Thanks everyone for listening. This is Midlife Crisisses. Bradley, William, Tyson. Like, follow, subscribe, smash all those buttons, share it with your friends. Tell us in the comments what your midlife is all about, and we will address it on the pod when it makes sense. Much love. Till next time. Bye.
Bye.